Welcome back to 49 News. We have here with us Rachel Zolotarsky, the annual conference chair of NCUR. Thanks for being here with us. First of all, I wanted to ask you, can you tell us exactly what NCUR is?
Sure. So NCUR is just a fancy way of saying the National Association of College and University Residence Halls. We just make it to say NCUR because if you had to say that over and over again, it would be a lot. But it's actually an international organization.
Okay.
Great. So what is it and what happens? And can you tell us about the conference that is going to be here in June?
Yeah, totally. So that's a loaded question. So NCUR is the largest student-run organization in the world. Like I said, it's international. So we have schools from South Africa, from the United Emirates, from Mexico that are affiliated, and it's essentially a student organization that's focused on leadership in the residence hall. So it's all about like empowering students and developing them as leaders and kind of experiencing them with like all the different things that they can do on a campus. And so every year this organization hosts an annual conference, and it's usually in the spring semester. And so we are actually hosting the annual one here in June. Yeah, it's going to be June 24th through 27th, so it's like 93 days away. I have it in my calendar. But so essentially it's a conference where students are going to come and they actually get to do all kinds of things, like go to programs, which are kind of like, think of like students doing like a presentation in class on like some sort of like topic, like diversity, leadership, development, programs that they've done at their own schools and stuff, and then students get to like actually present them to other students and stuff. So they get to like take away and learn, meet new people. It's like a lot of cheering and like excitement and food and fun things.
That sounds great. Can you tell us how did the university get selected to host the conference this year?
Yeah, sure. So the way that it works is that a university has to host the annual conference every year. So a school actually has to put together a bid proposal. And so we put one together. We've been working on it for 2 years. Ours was about 150 pages or so. So we worked on that. There was a team of like 8 of us. And we put it forward, and then we have to do like a presentation as well. So not only do they review our proposal packet, but we also have to stand up for 20 minutes and present, and then do 10 minutes of Q&A.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then we don't know what other schools we're competing against. And then at the very end of the conference, it's a 4-day conference, we find out who wins through a video. So all the schools that were bidding for it, there were 3 last year, you're all sitting there like waiting to find out whose video is going to be shown in front of the 3,000 people that are at conference. And then when your video plays, it's like kind of a surreal moment.
Yeah.
And then you win. So it's cool. So we've been working on it for 3 years. So
wow.
Yeah, it's
Congratulations.
Really Thanks.
All right, so now UD gets to host the conference. Now what? What have you been doing?
Yeah, so we've been working really hard. We put a team of students together. There's 21 of us. We put us together last spring semester towards the end, so that when we won, if we won, which we did, we would come back ready with a team to go. So we have meetings every Sunday. I have like monthly one-on-ones with all my staff. Like, it's really cool. So we get together, and each person on my team is in charge of a different like section of conference. Like, someone's in charge of dining, someone's in charge of housing. We have a sustainability chair, which is cool, to make sure that like our conference is the first ever carbon neutral conference ever, which is really cool. Yeah, so everyone's kind of responsible for their own thing, and then we come together and have a vision and make it happen.
Wow, that sounds very interesting. Like, I want to be involved. Can you tell us if anyone is interested in being involved in NCUR, how would they do for the process?
Cool. So we have a website. It's conference.ncur.org, and NCUR is NACURH. And so if they go to the website, there's actually a link for volunteers there. And so on that volunteer link, you can actually see the application. It's just a Google form. It's super easy to fill out. And on it, it's like, if you're interested in anything specific, you can tell us. If you can't be there for all 4 days of conference because it's Thursday through Monday, then you can just let us know, and you don't have to be there for the whole time. But we provide all of our volunteers housing and food and a t-shirt, and it's just super fun. And my goal is to allow each of the volunteers to go to one of those presentation programs, so they get to like experience a part of the conference.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we'll see if that happens. We need 75 volunteers, and we have like 30 or 40 right now. So like, we're really pushing. Really need.
I'm
like,
sure you'll get there.
If you're watching right now, sign up and volunteer.
Make sure you go. Yeah, I'm sure you'll get there.
Yeah. So, okay, besides the free stuff, which is obviously great, what else can students gain from attending this conference?
Yeah, so NCUR is a really hard thing to explain, because it's kind of like one of those things you don't know how to put words to if you've never been to one. So I've been to like 3, because our school brings delegates like every time to one of the national conferences. So it's just a really eye-opening experience, because when you're there, all you're thinking about is like who you are as a person, who you are in a group, like who you are going to be after college, in college, and then you kind of are assessing the whole time, so that when you come back to campus or when you meet back up with like your friends that you went on the trip with, that's like your delegation, you actually just like, it's all you end up talking about. So you come up with all these like great ideas, you get really inspired to like come back to campus and like make some cool changes or like do something awesome. So it's like just really I don't know, it's like a really empowering feeling.
Okay.
It's really exciting.
Totally.
Yeah, well, you just said that it helps you find out who you are. Can you tell us kind of what have you gained from this experience?
Yeah, so I mean, I would totally not be the person I am today if I didn't ever get involved in this at all. But it's cool because you meet so many different kinds of people. Yeah. So like that's one of the best things you bring back is like all these friends from different schools, different countries. Yeah. But I think also the biggest thing you bring back is like what other schools are doing. So it's so easy to like just focus in on Delaware, but when you're at a conference with 400 other institutions, it's kind of easy to be like, oh, you go to Towson? Like, what do you do at Towson? Oh, we would never have that at Delaware. Maybe we should have that or something. It's really cool. So there's a lot of different things that schools are doing that the University of Delaware can't do, and schools that are doing things that we're doing things that other schools can't, and like they want to kind of interchange that information.
Oh, so that's great.
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to maybe in the next few years for the conference or NACUR? I know you're graduating, but you know, what do you hope to see?
That's tough. So it's like once you finish your conference, like you're kind of done, and then the next school bids and hosts and all that fun stuff. But I think that it's really cool because like in the history of NACUR, it's definitely we've like set the Delaware standard. So it's really cool, and like I'm not just saying that like that's a thing that people say, because I think that we really like innovated what the conference is about and made a lot of changes that I think people are scared to sometimes. So I think like we really changed the face of what the conference is going to look like moving forward. But in terms of like what it's going to be like, I don't really know. That just kind of depends on the school that hosts it, but it's definitely going to be interesting, and like I'm really hoping we're the best one people have ever been to. So.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
It's the goal.
Yeah. Well, good luck with all that. Yes. It was great to hear from you live in person today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We are going to see a little bit more about what this conference is. Kerrigan went to go find out about it, so thank you for being here.
Thanks for being here.
Can't wait to find out more.
No problem. Thanks.